This is
Floridians,
a Philly sports podcast.
Hey, pal, that's my line.
Dude, just shut up and start the show. Come on, man.
Jalen Hurts is a football terrorist. He ruined my Monday. This man is not only a threat, he is a menace. I stayed up Monday night till midnight to watch that sack of crap. This man has made me so angry. You know, he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't even want to shoot football. Look what he can do. Look what he can do. Look what he did. That's what he did. 5 turnovers, 2 in 1 play.
Folks, welcome to the Floridians podcast. My name is David. Joining me, as always, is my trusty sidekick co-host, Luke McClatchy, who needs a Xanax, clearly.
And don't get me started on AJ Brown.
Lots to talk about today in Philly sports.
And then at least the Sixers are going on. No, Embiid's washed, and I don't even know what VJ Edgecombe is doing. I know he's a rookie, but it's like, I want 30 points.
He actually played really well against the Lakers.
He did, but we didn't win.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna just pretend. I'm not gonna go over what happened this week. Do you want to go over the Eagles first, or do you want to go over, like, just get Kyle Schwarber and the Sixers out of the way? Because I feel like, the cream of the crop, best for last. Okay. Biggest story today. Obviously, Kyle Schwarber signing a 5-year, $150 million deal with the Phillies after leading the NL with 56 home runs, 132 RBIs, finished second in MVP voting. He has a presence in the clubhouse.
I like the move. I think Schwarber deserves to retire a Philly.
Yeah. To me, going over 18 in the NLDS still bothers me. It wasn't just him. It was also a couple of other guys on the Phillies, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper. I forget what the actual number of.
And it's not super exciting to watch a guy on the wrong side of 30 sign for that much money, but on the other hand, money in baseball is made up. The Dodgers just keep finding quarters between their couch and signing everybody, so I don't think it matters. I know it's kind of a nothing move in the grand scheme of things. Like, I don't think it makes us better signing Schwarber, but it's like, I feel like this is more for the fans. Like, it would have really hurt to see him walk after 0 for 18. Like, it really would have sucked for us that to be the last memory of him.
It's funny, actually. Like, I was sort of, this has been, it was sort of an if and when situation for the signing, obviously. Actually, my dad and I were actually talking about this over the weekend. Shout out to my dad. Not just for talking about the Phillies, but also for, raising me and my 3 siblings, but I digress. One thing we're talking about, the Phillies, one thing I'll notice is they're going to fill the stands in the summer. Like, from you get down to brass tacks, a mom with 3 kids that play t-ball, they're not going to care about statistics in the playoffs like we do. They're just going to care about, Kyle Schwarber's on the Phillies, and I could get to go to a game, and tens of thousands of other people feel that way. So yeah, it was a fan signing standpoint. That's sort of, but I feel like the Phillies sort of get caught into that too much, where they're content, and then a lot of other sports franchises do the same thing, where they get sort of caught in this, like, we're selling tickets, we're making money, this is a profitable business.
The most profitable thing you can be is a mid sports team.
Mm-hmm. So I think the Phillies are too caught up in that. I think it's a decent signing. I'm glad that they didn't spend, like, Juan Soto money. I like the price tag that we got him at.
But money's made up in baseball anyway.
Exactly. And to be honest, and it's sickening to really say this out loud, but $150 million in baseball is peanuts. You know what I mean?
It's chump change.
Kyle Schwarber, 32, signing him for 5 years. I don't know how but
And the signing kind of had me thinking earlier a couple months ago when Cassianos was saying that the stadium would turn against the fans and almost turn into like a negative place. Well, obviously guys like Kyle Schwarber want to be here, so sounds like it's just a Cassianos problem.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, this NLDS just really turned my stomach the wrong way.
Yeah, I think this core is over the hill, but
you can just people. And I was even talking on Instagram Live during the Rob Thompson at a press conference today. For me to summarize it, it would just be beating a dead horse. He said, oh, we have to go back and just be better. They also extended Rob Thompson through 2027 as well.
I think the ultimate thing they're doing with this move, with extending Schwarber and Rob Thompson, the Phillies fans, people like us, people who go to all the games and stuff, suffered through 10 years of missing the playoffs. And it's a pretty common thing to say, blow it up. I really think the front office doesn't want to put people through that again. I really don't think they want to go 10 years of missing the playoffs, 3 what-if runs, and then right back to sucking again. I think they at least want to have butts and seats and people, watch the Phillies play meaningful baseball after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And that I can understand. This isn't a win the World Series move, but I don't know. Me personally, I didn't really watch a lot of baseball growing up because the Phillies, again, went 10 years without missing the playoffs. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably going to go into the season and have no hope whatsoever in them winning the World Series. But I don't know, being able to watch the Phillies in October for the first time since I was like 12 the past couple of years, it's been pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, I was talking I was on Instagram Live. I was in the comments talking to a couple of Phillies fans about in the Rob Thompson conference. I don't think we need any more power hitting. People say that we do. We spent $1 billion on power hitting, and look where it got us.
We just have to just billion more. We just have to keep trying.
Yeah, just like that's sort of how it feels. Is just that's sort of the problem. Let's just throw more money in it and just see what happens. Which I think the Phillies are doing, and that's all I could just really hope for, is that they just keep throwing money at the problem, and hopefully the money's covered in honey. And hopefully the money sticks to the wall.
And who knows, maybe I'll be eating my words, and next October the bats don't go cold and they actually go on a big run. Maybe we don't go over 18 with Kyle Schwarber next year. Because, they have a really talented, you have a lot of money up there, and it's for good reason. Like, those guys are, for the most part, I think, at least when you're talking regular season, are worth the money. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't think it's the worst idea ever just to see how far this core really goes. Yes, they're getting older. Yes, we've spent a lot of money, but you're looking at this from the front office perspective, and what's the harm? You're putting butts in seats. People get to watch meaningful baseball later into the season, and these guys are big names. Who knows? All it takes is one series where they don't mess it up, and all of a sudden you're looking at, maybe a 100-win season and another National League representation in the World Series. Like, I don't know. No one thought that was going to happen a couple years ago. They wanted a huge Cinderella run. So I don't know. Yeah, they're older, but I don't think this is the worst move in the world. Maybe I sound like an idiot going, mediocrity is okay. But after 10 years of missing the playoffs, I just actually like watching the Phillies with a smile on my face. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just sound like an idiot.
Again, yeah, I'm just so thrown off by the Phillies after that performance. I'm sort of just like, whatever. Again, just throw money at the wall, just see what happens. I mean, Kyle Schwarber across his last 6 postseason games, 0 for 21 and 13 strikeouts. So
Not a pretty number.
what do you? Yeah, I mean, what? It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. It is. I don't know. It's not too much, but they need to focus on, I think, fielding, like in like situational fielding is, I think, what they really need to go after. What the Phillies really need to go after. Situational fielding, because their fielding sucks. Too many mistakes.
I think that when the playoffs start, they should swing and make contact with the ball. That's just me personally.
Elite ball knowledge. Just terrific, to quote the
I think
terrific.
the way baseball
analysis.
works is you sign players, right? And the more money you sign them for usually means the better they are. And the better they are, the more often they hit the ball. So what the Phillies should do is hit the ball so they can get people on base and get them home and score runs. Does that happen a lot? No, not really. But I can't do this.
We're almost towards the end. We have to talk about the Sixers. Also, the Big Five was this weekend. I don't know if we're.
That was a pretty big deal for you. I mean,
I did at the time you won. I had the pleasure of attending the Big Five this weekend as media. So shout out to Jake Copestick, does the Big Five pod. Put a link in that in the description if you're a Big Five basketball fan. For those of you that don't know about it, I mean, if you're listening to a Philly sports podcast, you probably know about the Big Five. But yeah, Big Five took place on Saturday. Villanova took it after St. Joe's held the trophy for the past 2 years. Just a really cool, fun thing of basketball. Currently Villanova's getting creamed right now by Michigan, but they played well they destroyed Penn. It's a shame. One of the Penn players, I think his first name was TJ. Forgive me, I forget his last name, but went down with a really bad injury. So I hope he gets better. Talked to Steve Donahue, head coach of St. Joe's.
you met Jared.
Amazing. Met Jared McCain. Yeah, I had the privilege of meeting Jared McCain and talking to him briefly. That was pretty cool. Very nice guy. He was there as a fan, but he was taking pictures with the kids, saying hi to people. Smile never left his face. Just a great guy, great player. Yeah. So that was, the Big Five Classic was definitely a good time this weekend.
And now the Eagles.
Well, the Sixers.
They're there.
We need to talk about this Embiid situation. What's going on with Embiid? I mean, the Lakers were in town. I also just love stalling because I know you have a lot to say about the Eagles. I do too, but I think it's funny that we're just going to keep stalling this with December NBA basketball when it really matters. Yeah.
Well, I actually missed the Sixers Lakers game. I didn't catch it. And all I heard the entire night was everyone was so pissed at Embiid not backing down Austin Reeves, and I thought it was gonna be awful. I watched the thing. I thought it was a good shot. I really don't think that deserved all the flack it got. He had an open turnaround and he just missed it.
That's his shot.
Years ago, the guy would have swished that right through. Almost every game I watched of the Sixers the past couple years, I mean, that's a gimme for Embiid. That's a layup for him. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just such a random thing, but it's I just saw everyone blowing up at him for not backing down Austin Reeves, and it's he's
he doesn't really back people down that much. He's more a finesse guy.
Yeah. Couple things about Embiid's performance. Finished with 16.7 rebounds, 2 offensive boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 0 turnovers, 8 for 8 from the free throw line, 0 for 6 from 3. It was just it was a bad shooting night for Joel Embiid, but I mean, when you look at the box score, watching that game, it did show that his shot decision making, rather. I forgot how to use English words. But his shot decisions just were rather stupid and pointless and dumb. But I mean, if you look at the stats, he's got he's plus 11. So I mean, when he's on the floor, you're playing pretty well.
I think it's really obvious at this point with how much time he's missed and everything that's happened to him, really ever since Jonathan Kuminga fell on him during that Warriors game. He's lost a step, and it's like, that's fine. He's a center on the wrong side of 30. Like, that's gonna happen with a guy who relies on his athleticism as much as Embiid. I mean, people have just gotten so spoiled when you have a guy who's had as many injuries as Embiid has had, is as athletic as Embiid is, and has been asked to do as much as he has been. They don't have the longest shelf life in the world. It's not uncommon for centers to start declining in their 30s, like
in their early 30s. Yeah,
I think people are like a little bit more mad because we didn't get early Embiid. We had to wait like 2 years for him to play his first game. So, that's swaying everything a little bit. But I mean, yeah, he's right at about the age where elite centers start showing their age. Patrick Ewing, Yao Ming,
Shaq.
I mean, it's
Dwight Howard, Andre Drummond, even.
It's very uncommon for centers to still play at an elite level in their 30s.
I don't want to say that Andre Drummond's decline necessarily, but at one point he was an all-star.
But yeah, but I mean, this isn't an uncommon thing. I don't know why people are surprised, especially with his injury history. I mean, yeah.
What do you do with it? What do you do from here, though? At this point in his career, what do you do? Do you, just to put him on the trading block, get whatever you can?
I mean, at this point, you just kind of ride it out. The Sixers are over the cap, and
because this offense is inefficient, and you've got a young team. You've got an MVP caliber Maxey. You've got VJ. You've got the backcourt that most of these Eastern Conference teams have that are competing for a title. Cleveland, Boston, Detroit, a whole bunch of teams that
I think
picking up guards.
I think you give Embiid the time, because even if you trade him and even everything, I don't think anything you get for Embiid is going to move the needle more than him getting right. Like, as stupid as it sounds, I'm going to stick it out with Embiid. I don't think anything we'll get back for him is worth it, because I really don't think his value's there anymore, especially with that contract. You look at, I don't think we're going to get more than like 2 role players and a low first rounder for him at this point. And like, it doesn't even matter.
Do you just take that? Don't you just take that? I mean, at this point, because
that's the point. We have Paul George on contract and everything. We're still far over the cap.
You cut your losses.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. At that point, you're just getting worse for no reason. It doesn't save any money, because we have to get rid of Paul George too, which is going to be next to impossible to get rid of that money. I mean, I would get rid of Paul George before Embiid. But moving them both,
I would agree.
But moving them both, I just, with the way the Sixers work, because they went over, they used bird rights to get Maxey after they signed Paul George. Like, we are ridiculously over the cap. There's nothing really you can do in this situation except ride it out. That's why the Paul George
deal was such a terrible idea. It was like, even if we didn't sign Paul George and just outright sign Maxey and didn't bother with the bird rules, we'd still be over the cap. Because we've got like 3 players on the roster getting paid over $40 million. There's no fixing this season. And so I think it's better to stick it out with Embiid. He's given a lot to the city. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little emotional with him here, but I don't think it's really fair after how many broken faces he's played through, how many injuries he's rushed back from, to just dump him and throw some Scotch tape on a big hole in the boat. It's not going to fix anything. It'll just be getting rid of him.
I mean, all we needed out of him was one healthy playoff run, and we would have been in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sort of just tired at this point, being like, you let him ride it out. You let him ride it out. I agree. From a morality standpoint, I guess, from an emotional standpoint.
I know, but like, even if
this is a business, this is a young guy. This is Maxey's team. Doesn't really share any value. He doesn't bring anything to this to the table anymore. We could win without him. We lose with him. It's just it's so frustrating at this point. And you have these young guys on the squad.
I just don't think any move is worth it.
And I don't think keeping him is worth it. I think if you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So why don't you go out there like OKC, stack up on a bunch of draft picks, and get 1 loss a season, like Oklahoma City. So what? We can eat the money. We'll just have to eat the losses. Whatever. It is what it is. The Paul George trading was stupid. Face the consequences of your action. You got a couple of young guys. Don't screw it up this time.
Oh, but that's what they do best. They love doing that.
It's so frustrating.
Well, we have 2 number 1 overall picks. We have Markelle Fultz and we have Ben Simmons, and we have a rising all-star, possibly MVP candidate in Joel Embiid. Let's not deal with Ben Simmons' mental problems at all. Let's let Markelle Fultz get a debilitating shoulder injury and never fix his shooting form, and trade.
Let's favor Brett Brown over Jimmy. Let's favor Brett Brown over Jimmy Butler.
And let's keep Tobias Harris, which, with the benefit of hindsight, we know was a bad move at the time. I actually didn't mind re-signing Tobias Harris in 2019. Like, I ate my words on that. I didn't think it was a bad move in 2019. Re-signing him. Obviously now, and then I would have rather had Jimmy Butler than him. I mean, that's obvious, but not losing them both for a half-season rental was nice at the time. And then he decided to play basketball from 2020 and on, and I want to just forget that. But
it's frustrating.
I don't know. It's just a sea of mid, and I don't know. You can wait on an offer from MB, because at this point, I don't think the trade value's there. Honestly, I don't even know if we even get a first rounder for Embiid. I don't
get I think you'd get a late first round pick for him.
Maybe. I don't even know at this point. I don't know how many GMs they would call, the Sixers would call and say Embiid's available, and we'll go, cool. We were calling about him 4 years ago, and just hang up. You let your nice cheese wedge just sit there and sit there and sit there, and now it's growing mold on it. You're like, anyone want it now? It's aged. It's good. And it's like, no one wants that. You should have given it away when everyone was asking for it.
What if Nico Harris gets another job? He gets a job with the Celtics, and he trades Jalen Brown straight up for Embiid. Boom. Sixers champion.
No, Nico Harrison will just get another job and trade for Anthony Davis again. Give Nico Harrison a job with the Lakers and undo the Luka trade.
Here's an article from Sports Illustrated that has a trade scenario with the Blazers. And I know you're itching to get to the Eagles. We will talk about the Eagles, but we're just gonna hypothetical deal could involve Embiid for Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams III, and Blake Wesley. Draft picks would also need to be involved.
So cool. We can trade one injury prone shelf himself center for another. Fantastic.
Jeremy Grant.
Robert Williams III.
Yeah, but we already have Drummond and we got Bona. I think.
Yeah, but again, that's just a move just to get rid of Embiid. It doesn't save any money. Jeremy Grant's on just as bad a contract.
He's a fan favorite, former Sixer.
So is
Grant.
Embiid. Embiid's a fan favorite too.
Not right now. Not right now.
Well, that's because people are stupid.
All right. Well, we got
People sit there and want Embiid to die and then watch Jalen Hurts be mid and they're like, he's my favorite player.
okay. Yeah, we got 8 minutes and 40 seconds left. So let's just. I'm gonna save our good old time. The Philadelphia Eagles faced off against the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday Night Football on ESPN. The score was a result of 22-19 in favor of the Los Angeles Chargers. Jalen Hurts finished the game with going 21 for 40, 240 yards, and 4 interceptions.
And a fumble.
And a fumble. Saquon Barkley with 120 yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Brown with 100 yards and however many dropped passes. Luke, I got enough rage bait. I got enough rage baiting in. I'll let you get your frustrations out because I think I'm a little bit more calm about this situation than you are.
Okay, so here's the real thing, and I've been saying it as long as Hurts has been our starter, and everyone calls me a hater for it. Hurts is not an elite quarterback, and that's fine. But last night was a perfect example of a 2-game loss streak. You go out there in prime time and you show the world why people think you're a top 5 quarterback. And so not only did he lose the game, he was the biggest reason why we lost the game. And so I've been called a hater and stuff so much for this. Jalen Hurts is not the kind of guy that you can just shoulder the team on and say, go, like, win us the game. Like, he's a product of his circumstances. And that's fine. But it's frustrating sometimes. Like, it really feels like everything has to be absolutely perfect for him to win games. Like back 2 years ago with Brian Johnson. Oh, well, the play calling isn't there. Okay, so then we get another coordinator and we win the Super Bowl. We hire in-house again. Like, it's made, I fought it with Brian Johnson, and it's happened again as a legitimate question. How much of this is actually the coordinator's fault, and how much of it is our play calling stinks because Hurts just does not run an NFL playbook very well?
So do you throw Tanner McKee in that situation? Do you start Tanner McKee next?
Here's the thing, and I thought we made the mistake with Wentz at the time. And so I don't want to do this again. When you are in a situation like this and you have a guy like Jalen Hurts and say we go in next week and we bench him for Tanner McKee, what you were basically saying is like, your time in Philly is over. Like, someone else is coming in. I don't think that you want to just end his career. Again, like right after a Super Bowl, I don't think you want to just sit there and go, we're putting the other guy in, like, you're done. Like, that's an incredibly short leash. We already went through it with Wentz and Peterson as Super Bowl champions, and they got run out of town. I really don't want to do that again.
I don't either.
But it's like, I think people are finally starting to realize, because it actually showed up in the box score for once, that it's not just the play calling. Our quarterback has been an issue really since the minute. He really hasn't had a good game since the Vikings game. He's probably had 2 good games the whole year. Like, we were back in week 2 and he threw like 96 yards, and yeah, we beat the Chiefs, but that was in spite of him. Like, a lot of our games won at the beginning of the season were in spite of Jalen Hurts. And then he has great games against Minnesota, a great game against Minnesota. He's had some other great ones, but it's just, I don't know. I've watched Carson Wentz, I've watched Sam Bradford, I've watched Mark Sanchez, I've watched Nick Foles, I've watched McNabb, I've watched Vic, I've watched all of them. Hurts is the most confusing quarterback we've ever had. He will go from perfect passer rating, basically perfect game, and then have 4 turnovers and single-handedly lose you a game. And I think it's really frustrating to have a quarterback where you're going into marquee matchup games like this and you legitimately don't know which one's going to show up. And like it's a season by season thing. Like we go 2022, he's fantastic. He has a good chance at MVP until he goes down and Gardner Minshew does the last couple games, yada, yada, yada. 2023, he looks bad, leads the league in turnovers. We got a new offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. Back to being pretty good. I mean, this is the other thing. I really don't think he was that good last year either. We were having the same problems. The receivers were complaining. We couldn't really throw the ball. We just had a 2,000-yard running back and the best O-line in football cover that up.
No, that's fair.
And he got injured again. Like, I really don't think he was as good in the regular season as everyone thinks he was, but he was good. He was good enough to start and win a Super Bowl. But now we're right back to different coordinator, and he looks like he's forgotten how to play the sport.
Jalen Hurts with 338 attempts in the shotgun this season.
It's not his game.
That's not. Yeah, that's
the other thing. Yes, the play calling is a problem, and I think the play calling is a big thing on why the run game is bad. Kevin Petula loves just running us out of the same formation on first and second down.
And I'm not giving Jalen any excuses for last night. He played horribly. He was the reason why we lost that game. I am just saying, a couple of those passes, a couple of those interceptions were AJ Brown's fault. There was one should have caught in the first quarter. There was one in the fourth quarter that got tipped. And it was around the 11-minute mark that got tipped. That was an easy catch for him. I'm just saying.
I'm saying that's a fair thing to say when your quarterback has 1 or 2 turnovers. When he has 5, like 5, 2
That's
on
ridiculous.
one play.
Yeah.
That's the first time that's ever happened. I didn't even know that was possible. Well,
That's our butt fumble.
yeah, it is our butt fumble. Every time the Eagles lose,
The
compilation.
what do you call it? The double fumble. Or the double to the fumble roost the pickable.
The inner fumble.
The inner fumble. That's going to be the episode of this. That's going to be the title of this episode.
How much I've been called a hater of Jalen Hurts and too hard on him.
Which you are.
I'm not.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You're a Jalen Hurts hater.
How?
The second he breathes too heavy, like you're on it. I know he had a bad game, but I know he had a bad game this year. But I'm not saying like I'm not going to say that it's all on him. Like it's not like
No, but I all offseason I was called crazy for saying he's not a top 5 quarterback. He never has been, and he never will be. He's not.
I think he was last year.
2,900 yards on the season is elite.
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, and how would we have gotten to the Super Bowl if Saquon didn't carry us against the Rams and the Packers? Because that's the other thing. Hurts sucked against the Packers in the first round. And he wasn't great against the Rams either. He looked great against Washington, but who didn't? They put up 55 points.
We have less than a minute. If you have more to say, we can.
No, I'm
Bully here. We can. Because I feel like
I do not want Jalen Hurts out of town, and I do not want him benched. All I'm asking is for him to play how everyone describes him. Because I always hear, oh, he's so elite. Oh,
I agree.
He can do that. Wet.
I agree.